I'm going to tell you something that I don't think anybody has ever said directly to you yet. The reason your applications aren't landing, or your interviews aren't converting, or it feels like you're rewriting your CV constantly, and it still doesn't feel right, it's probably not what you think it is. It's not your qualifications or your marks, or that you chose the wrong module, or that you didn't network enough, or that the market is just tough right now. Those are things that might be true on the surface, but underneath it all, there's something more specific going on. And I've watched it play out in engineer after engineer from different universities, different specializations, different backgrounds. And here's what I keep seeing. Every engineer that I've worked with arrived in industry with 4 or 5 years becoming very good at one specific thing, performing knowledge, showing them that they knew things. Exams, assignments, presentations, and reports. The entire university experience is built around demonstrating knowledge and understanding. And you get good at it. Most people get very good at it. And then you walk into industry and the game changes completely. Nobody sits you down before your first interview and has this conversation with you. Everything that you've been rewarded for in the past 5 years is not what we're looking for right now. But that's essentially what's happening. Industry doesn't want a performance of knowing. They want something much more uncomfortable. Honesty about what you don't know, combined with evidence that you can work with that uncertainty and still produce something useful. Those are genuinely different skills. And the reason most engineers don't have that when they arrive is because they were never asked to develop them. University never needed them to. So let me get more specific. There's a model in education called Bloom's taxonomy. It maps learning into 6 different levels: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The idea is that you move through them progressively, each level building on the next. University takes most engineers through the bottom 2. You remember and you understand. And then exams and projects, maybe reports, gesture to the middle 2, analyzing and applying, but rarely deep enough for you to build them. And then final year arrives and suddenly you're expected to evaluate and create, to synthesize something from information that you've never seen before. And that jump is enormous. Most people don't realize how enormous until they're at the other side of it. In industry, wondering why their middle floors are so unstable. And it's because they were never built. Industry then receives you expecting that those middle floors are load-bearing, expecting that applying and analyzing are things that you do reflexively. And you arrive having sprinted past them in your final stretch, still performing, still trying to show that you know things at exactly the moment when a different posture would serve you much better. So here's what I want you to hold on to. The engineers that transition well, who land the interviews, who get the offer, who walks into rooms with something that reads as confident, are not necessarily the smartest ones. They are the ones, somewhere along the way, figured out how to be honest about their starting point. How to say, I don't know this yet, but here is how I think about problems. And here is what I've learned from the work I've done before. Here's what I'm drawn to and why. That's not a personality trait. That's a skill and it's learnable. And the only reason most engineers don't have it when they arrive in industry is because nobody helped them develop it. That's the gap, and that's what I keep seeing. And now that you see it too, it stops being a you problem. It becomes a very specific, solvable problem. And specific solvable problems are exactly the kind of problems engineers are good at.